Hey guys, this is Pratik Oswal, founder and CEO of Glide Invest, and we are here to make investing stress free, one financial goal at a time. Hello everyone. So today's topic is how to choose the right index funds for beginners. We all have heard that passive investing is one of the best ways of investing money in the long term. So here's an in-depth guide to choosing the right passive funds for your portfolio. So, if you've researched personal finance at any point, you would have come across the phrase mutual funds sahi hai, which roughly translate to mutual funds are the perfect fit. And this is the common advice that's given to all beginners to start on their investment journey to financial independence. But if you actually go out there and look for a mutual fund, you'll find that there's quite a few to invest in. There are around thousands and thousands of mutual funds. They have ETFs, you have REITs, you have PMS, AIF. There are a lot of options out there. And I think in addition to that, let's begin to highlight some of the common mistakes that beginners make. So this one, and before you go about talking about index funds, let's talk about some of the mistakes that beginners make when it comes to investing for the first time. So the first mistake is choosing the best performing fund. This may not be the best strategy because we all know, or at least what the data shows is that past performance has no correlation to future performance. So choosing the best performing fund may actually be a poor strategy for you to go out there and select a fund. The second reason for beginners to beware is to constantly juggle between funds. A lot of beginners tend to buy and sell funds on say like a quarterly or a yearly basis. This is actually not a great thing. When you buy a mutual fund, you should typically stick to it for a very, very long time, years and years and years. The third is, you're falling prey to a fund manager bias and not really understanding the philosophies of the fund manager. So when we go out there and buy an active mutual fund, we are basically buying the strategy of an active fund manager. And to be honest, you cannot expect the fund manager to do really well all the time. Every strategy goes to ups and downs. So I think, someone who's made a decision of buying a fund should probably stick to it through good times as well as bad when it comes to investing. The fourth is getting confused with a variety of funds available. I think this is the most important problem with beginners investors. As to which one do you select, and because of that, a lot of investors tend to shy away from the mutual fund industry because of choice. So let's figure out what are the simple solution to the scenario, and the simple solution is index funds. Index funds are funds that track a particular index. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard of Nifty and Sensex, very popular indexes. And the whole point about index funds is that they eliminate fund manager bias. So you are not dependent of a particular fund manager and his ability to execute his strategy. You are also narrowing the number of funds out there. Today you have thousands and thousands of mutual funds. When it comes to index funds, you're down to maybe 5 or 10 options. And third, I would say reason to why index funds are great is because they're also very cheap. Index funds are maybe 50 to 60% cheaper than active funds out there. So investors can expect to save a lot of costs as well. And fourth is also they tend to be very efficient as well. Yes, index funds may not be the highest performing fund, but it's very hard for you to predict which is the highest performing fund in the next 3 years. So might as well stick to an index fund. And I would say, and the fund and the returns are pretty much the same that you would get on other funds as well. So what are the factors that go into determining which index funds you should choose? The first factor is understanding your risk profile. I think risk profile is the most important part about being an investor and to being a disciplined investor. If someone who does not have the risk profile to handle volatility should ideally have a much higher debt allocation than the equity allocation. And within the equity allocation as well, investors should, if you don't have a higher risk capability, then stay away from small and mid cap funds. Only invest in large cap funds. The second reason, market capitalization. So this is something I spoke about earlier. There are typically three kinds of funds. You have large cap funds, mid cap funds, small cap funds, and you also have multi cap funds. Investors who are conservative stick to large and multi cap funds, whereas investors who can take a little bit more risk can look at mid and small cap funds. What about sector funds? So sector funds are actually very, very popular when the sector is doing well, but sector funds also tend to be the most riskiest in terms of a category of investment. Sector funds are extremely volatile, very risk prone, and they require some level of market timing for you to make money of sector funds. So we all know that, and what happens is sector funds tend to do well when everyone's talking about it, which is when it's too late, because it's already very expensive to buy these stocks. So I do feel that conservative investors should probably start avoid sector funds, and only if you're very aggressive should you look at sector funds. But even there, I think sector funds are probably should be avoided by most investors. What about ETFs? ETFs are also very popular amongst investors. ETFs are also index funds, but they are index funds that are listed on the exchange. So any investor who's looking to buy ETFs has to have a demat account, but they are very similar to index funds, as I said before. So investors it should be good enough to choose both between index funds and ETFs when it comes to investing. So how should you choose the right index fund? When you have chosen to invest in, say, a Nifty 50 index fund, there are around 15 to 20 options of Nifty 50 index funds. So how do you go about choosing the best one? With this, I want to talk about three things. One is a tracking error. You should buy the fund with the lowest tracking error. You should buy the fund with the lowest expense ratio, and you should buy the fund with the highest track record. I think if you combine these three, you should be able to figure out which is the best index fund in that category itself. So in conclusion, index funds are absolutely great in removing choice in your fund selection. It's great because you're keeping costs low, and it's also good because they've been very effective investment vehicles for long-term investing. And when it comes to choosing index funds, look for index funds with a low tracking error, low expense ratio, and also high track record. So thank you so much for listening, and looking forward to the next one. You can listen to us out here or check out our website, www.glideinvest.com. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter on @GlideInvest. If you want to reach out to me, then I'm at Pratik Oswal 88 on Twitter. Cheers and happy investing. See you guys next week.